morning, friends. Welcome back to day 2 of Military Marriage Week. Yesterday, we talked about communication and how strong marriages are built one conversation at a time. Now, if you remembered yesterday's challenge, it was for you to put 15 minutes uninterrupted aside to ask your spouse how they are really doing. If you'd like to share how that went, drop it in the comments. We would love to hear about it. So, today, too, I want to talk about something that goes hand in hand with communication, and that is connection. So I'm going to start with another question. When was the last time you and your spouse laughed together? Not because something was planned, not because you were on vacation, just because you enjoyed being together. Sometimes military life gets so busy that we become really good teammates, but we forget to be best friends. We're managing schedules, getting the kids where they need to be, keeping up with work, paying bills, making dinner, and trying to survive another week. Before we know it, we've spent all of our energy. We've taken care of life, and we've spent very little time taking care of our marriage. Here's something I want to encourage you with. Connections don't disappear overnight. They also don't appear overnight. It fades little by little. One busy day becomes one busy week becomes one busy month, and suddenly you're sitting across from someone you love wondering, when did we stop talking like we used to? The good news is this. Connection can be rebuilt the same way it was lost, one moment at a time. A lot of people think connection requires expensive date nights or weekends away. Those things are great when they're possible, but they're not always convenient, and they're not what makes marriages strong. Strong marriages are built in the everyday moments. It's sitting together with a cup of coffee before the kids wake up, sending a quick text during the day that just simply says, "I'm thinking about you." It's greeting each other with a hug instead of immediately talking about everything that went wrong that day. It's asking, "How can I help?" instead of assuming. It's choosing to put your phone down for a few minutes because the person sitting next to you deserves your attention. The little moments matter. One thing I've learned as a military spouse is that time together is not always predictable. There are long work days, unexpected phone calls, training, duty days, deployment, and sometimes life just doesn't give us much time together as we'd like. And that is exactly why we have to be intentional with the time we do have. One of my favorite pieces of marriage advice is this: never stop dating your spouse. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Sharon, have you seen the price of babysitters? But dating doesn't have to be expensive. Hear me out. Sometimes a date night is ordering pizza after the kids go to bed. Sometimes it's taking a walk around the neighborhood. Sometimes it's sitting on the porch with a cup of coffee after a long day. The goal isn't spending money. The goal is spending time. I also want you to encourage you to stay curious about your spouse. People grow. We all change over time. The person you married 5 or 10 years ago has learned new things, experienced new challenges, and probably has new dreams. Keep asking those questions. What is something you're excited about right now? What's been stressing you lately? How can I support you better? What's something you've been thinking about that we haven't talked about? Don't assume you already know the answers. One of the healthiest habits couples can build is having regular check-ins. Ask each other what's going well. Ask where you can grow. Celebrate the wins before jumping into the problems. Sometimes we spend so much time fixing what's wrong that we forget to celebrate what's right. So here's today's challenge. Attached at the bottom is a link. It is to a marriage scavenger hunt. I would like for you don't have to do the whole scavenger hunt tonight, but pick a couple of ones, the opportunities you have, and I want you to do them. And I want you to see what you've learned, where you could grow, and what it made you appreciate about your relationship. Then make a plan. How can you build more intentional time together? As we finish today, I want to leave you with this thought. The strongest military marriages aren't built because couples have more free time than everybody else. They're built because they choose to make each other a priority in the middle of the busy schedules. Changing plans and all the unexpected moments that military life bring come all the time. That's why this has to be a priority. Start with the time you have today. Thank you for joining me for day 2 of Military Marriage Day week. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about something every couple experiences, having difficult conversations in a healthy way. Until then, take a few minutes to reconnect with your best friend, and I will see you tomorrow.